the reason as to why there is no menstrual cycle during pregnancy, because of the presence of progesterone, because its presence prevents the production of follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Mugendi. Thank you for finding time to tune in. So you better stay tuned, because today we are going to answer a lot of questions that are concerning hormone level during pregnancy in the body of a pregnant woman. So with me here I have a diagram to represent the hormones that are usually in the blood of a pregnant woman. This topic is, tutorial is under the topic of reproduction in mammals. And when we talk of reproduction in mammals, we use human being as an example. So I want to take you through so that you can know the concentration of different hormones during pregnancy. So this diagram has a variety of hormones that are present in the body of a pregnant woman. So on the horizontal axis, we have weeks of gestation, and on vertical axis, we have hormonal level in the blood. So we want to see the body of a pregnant woman, which hormone we are likely to find at which period of gestation. So during the early stages of pregnancy, most abundant hormone is the HCG, the human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, and it is usually produced by the placenta. When we talk of the placenta, we talk of that growth that occurs from the chorionic membrane that burrows into the uterus. Suppose this is now the oviduct. If this is the oviduct and this is the uterus, if this is now the uterus and we have the cervix there, these are the walls of the uterus, alright? So you find that fertilization occurs in the oviduct. Then after 7 days, that is after fertilization has taken place, the fertilized zygote must move to the uterus for implantation. So by the time this fertilized egg reaches the uterus, it has formed a chorionic membrane. The chorionic membrane has some kind of finger-like projections that burrows into the uterus. Okay? And assuming that is now the fetus, so the uterus burrows into, the placenta burrows into the uterus. But at this stage, that is 7 days, the uterus has no ability to sustain the walls of the uterus. Okay? This is the vagina. These are the endometrium. And now, assuming this is, forgive my drawing, the fetus. Right? So during the 7 days, how is the walls, or how are the walls of the uterus sustained? We need these hormones, progesterone and estrogen. Are we together? So, since we need estrogen and progesterone, and yet the placenta that has ability, after fully developing, to produce these hormones have not developed well. So what happens? After fertilization, this is where we have now the ovaries. These are the ovaries. If you allow me to call these ones ovaries, if it is one is an ovary. So after ovulation, there is something we call corpus luteum, something we call corpus luteum, corpus luteum. Before the placenta develops enough, the role of production of estrogen and progesterone is taken by the corpus luteum. And the purpose of estrogen and progesterone is to ensure that the endometrium is sustained. What do we mean by saying that endometrium is sustained? We mean that the endometrium remains highly vascularized and thickened so that it is able to maintain the fetus in the uterus. Okay, now looking at the diagram that we have seen that it will take 7 days before the placenta is formed. All right? And the human chorionic gonadotrophic hormone is produced by the placenta. I know you are stuck there. Then how is this hormone produced? We have seen that there is a regeneration of the follicle that ovulated to form corpus luteum. During these early stages, before the placenta is well developed, the corpus luteum takes the responsibility of producing estrogen and progesterone until 7 days are reached, when the placenta has now the ability to produce human chorionic gonadotrophic hormone, and that is why you can see it is around the 4th week of gestation. So I want to believe we are together up to that point. Now, we have said that estrogen and progesterone maintains or sustains the uterine wall. What other role does the estrogen and progesterone perform? Progesterone performs another basic roles. One, it ensures that the endometrium doesn't contract. Because if endometrium contracts, then there will be a miscarriage. Najua umekuwa mambo kwa what is miscarriage? Miscarriage simply means premature birth. So what, and we don't want that, do we? I'm sure we don't want that. So what, so we don't want that. That is why the body is organized in such a way that there will be continuous production of estrogen and progesterone, which they join forces to ensure that endometrium is sustained. And we have said in the absence of placenta, then the corpus luteum takes the work of the placenta. I was saying that progesterone has many more roles apart from sustaining the endometrium. And one of the roles is to prevent contraction of the uterine wall that will lead to a premature birth. Another important function of progesterone is to inhibit. To inhibit is to prevent. So it prevents the production of gonadotrophic hormones. When we talk of gonadotrophic hormones, these are hormones that are produced under the influence of the master gland we are calling pituitary gland. And these hormones include the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. These hormones, if you have gone through the menstrual cycle, and if you have not watched that video, I'll put the link in the description box so that you follow that video. So follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone join forces to ensure the primary oocyte developed to form an egg that will become an ovum to be fertilized. Okay? So that now we can have something like this we are explaining. So progesterone prevents the production of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Hence, there will be no menstrual cycle during pregnancy. That is the reason as to why there is no menstrual cycle during pregnancy, because of the presence of progesterone, because its presence prevents the production of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Another role of progesterone is to ensure that no lactation takes place in mammary glands. And that explains as to why pregnant women do not lactate. If we can look at our diagram here, we can see the production of HCG at week 4. And there is sudden production of HCG up to around the 12th week. That is after 4 months. So what does that mean? Why is the level of HCG declining at the 12th week? At the 12th week, this is where now the placenta has developed fully to take up the role of production of estrogen and progesterone. And therefore now we don't need human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. So at the 12th week, just as we have seen, the placenta takes the role of now production of estrogen and progesterone. So now the decline of HCG means now the corpus luteum, because now the HCG was there to maintain the corpus luteum so that it can continue producing estrogen and progesterone. Are we together to that point? So, because now this one has declined, it means the corpus luteum is not sustained, and therefore it either regresses. To regress is to disintegrate, is also to die or to disappear. Okay? Because now its role has been taken up by the placenta. So that is why you find that when you find a question whereby you find a hormone that is starting to be produced at the 4th week, and towards the 10th week it's at its peak level, and then to the 12th week it declines, that means it is none other than human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. Now let's look at the estrogen and the progesterone. So the production of estrogen and progesterone continues to be produced because of its role of maintaining the endometrium that maintains the fetus in the uterus. Now if we look at how it keeps increasing as the gestation periods approaches birth, you find that there will continuous increase, but at a point we have a very sudden increase of estrogen and progesterone. This is towards the end of gestation period. Now, even though you find that these hormones keep increasing, it reaches a point whereby we reach the maximum, and then there is sudden decline of these hormones. The sudden decline of these hormones means that the endometrium will start contracting, because now the progesterone has declined and it is its work to inhibit contraction. Okay? Yes. Its decline also means the production of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone sets in. What does this mean then? This means this child is about to be born. Therefore, the decline of these two hormones means now the changes that bring about parturition or childbirth set in. Now, sudden decline of these hormones, estrogen and progesterone, brings about another hormone we are calling oxytocin hormone. This oxytocin hormone, indicated by the blue curve, is usually produced around the 36th week. This is because at any given time, once the pregnancy reaches 36th week, it means the baby is fully developed or fully grown. So birth can take place at any given point between the 36th and the 40th week of gestation. So the placenta produces oxytocin. Oxytocin is its purpose is just to bring about labor pain. And labor pain is the contraction of endometrial muscles so that the baby is pushed out. So immediately the baby is born, or shortly before the baby is born, around the 24th week of gestation period, there is another hormone that is usually produced that is called prolactin hormone. This hormone is produced around the 24th week, but in very low quantity. But upon reaching the 6th week, you find it increasing so fast, because at any given point between the 36th and the 40th week, a baby might be born at that point. What is the importance of prolactin then? Prolactin is a hormone that sends signal. Remember, it is produced by the placenta. Then the signal are sent to the pituitary gland to command the mammary glands to start lactating, because the baby is born. So all these hormones interact in a way that it will ensure gestation is maintained up to the point of parturition, which we are calling birth. Something else as we conclude, you should also note that the placenta has also another ability of producing another hormone we are calling relaxin hormone. Relaxin hormone, the name is from the word relax. So the relaxin hormone ensures that the pubis, the elastin fibers that join the pubis bones together. If you can look at this diagram. This is pubis. So there are elastin fibers that join the pubis. But towards the birth of a child, these fibers are relaxed by a hormone we are calling relaxin. We are calling relaxin hormone. So it relaxes the fibers that hold together the pubis bones so that the birth canal can be widened, so that the baby can be able to pass through the pubic canal and through the parenchyma. So we want to come to the end of this topic, but I want to be sure that you can name all the hormones, all possible hormones that are produced by the placenta. And again, you can label the hormones that are present in the blood of a pregnant woman. This marks the end of our topic. I hope I have answered all the questions that you had on hormonal level during pregnancy. So kindly support me by subscribing, sharing to the relevant people, and if you don't mind, comment in the comment section. Bye.